I'm going to speak the Bible I speak. We're going to spread this encouragement from the church to the street. The LEKEISHA, Mosley Show. The LEKEISHA, Mosley Show. The LEKEISHA, Mosley Show. And they talk about nothing but the unseen and unspoken issues while providing encouragement and love and understanding. She talks about issues that people in high places and influences are afraid to discuss publicly. Stay tuned. It's about to get real live. And you're tuned in to the LEKEISHA Mosley Show.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is LEKEISHA with the LEKEISHA Mosley Show, and I welcome you this evening. I'm so grateful that you're tuning in and listening to this inspiration that is going before us today. Today is an amazing day. Listen, this is a personal day for me. It's Memorial Day because I am a veteran, and I acknowledge all of my colleagues that I worked with many years ago in the military who served for our country, and those who gave their lives for our country, who are not presently here today, but they are definitely here with us in spirit. So I'm definitely honoring all of my friends and family members who supported a veteran as well on this amazing day. Today is a great day because we're going to discuss a topic called Everything Works Together. And I believe it's so appropriate for today, this holiday, talking about how everything works together, because it truly does. When God is involved and when he is trusted in his ability, everything works together, everyone. And I just want to encourage you today with that. I have an amazing special guest with me today because we're going to talk about this very topic, and we're going to talk about everything that's all about her. She's an amazing woman. She's an author. She's an inspirational speaker. She is the mother of the former NFL player, Marquise Hill. I'm just so grateful for her to spend the time with me today to definitely discuss everything that she has, because she has an amazing book that we're going to discuss this evening that is going to bless your life, and it's going to give you some encouragement if you're going through any trials and tribulations from whatever you're going through, from a loved one, from a traumatic experience that you experienced. I believe you're going to get your answers today. We have the amazing Miss Sherry Hill with us this evening. Sherry, are you with me on the line?
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Good evening to you. I'm so grateful just you spending the time with me. I'm truly honored. Just everything that you have within your reach. You're doing some amazing things, and it's definitely because of everything that you've been through. I'm truly honored about your experiences and about your courage and wisdom. So I'm looking forward to discussing that with us tonight.
Oh, shoot. I'm happy to do that. Thank you so much. And first of all, I want to thank you for your service as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. It truly was an honor to serve, and definitely being supportive of any member that serves. Definitely, I know so much about you. I know a lot about you, and I'm totally overjoyed about everything that you are. But I want my listening audience to know just even more about you. So if you can just share just a few words to them about everything that you are about today and what we're going to discuss.
My name is Sherry Hill, as you have stated. I am the mother of the late Marquise Hill, whom was killed in a jet ski accident in 2007 here in New Orleans at Lake Pontchartrain. So ironic, I just happened to start writing my book 3 days before the accident. I finished the book in 2008. I am an author. I'm a former teacher. I'm a former federal employee, and I worked with the New Orleans Police Department before Katrina, and I am a Katrina survivor. I've been through a lot. It's just been trials and tribulations, but God has really kept me, and I thank God to be able to say today that He has kept me in my right mind and with all I've been through, the normal person will probably be on third floor, but God has spared, and I'm so grateful.
Wow. I'm grateful for you as well, too, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. Our show is truly authentic because we're all about transparency and opening up and willing to share just everything that we've been through, just so it can create an atmosphere of love and support and healing for us and for others. I want to discuss just everything that you have within your reach when it comes to your book because, like you said, your book transpired before the event where your son transitioned. But I want to know really just where that birthing came from when it came to that book being written. Like, what inspired you to go forward and begin to write this book at that time?
My son and I had discussed about writing his story because he had been through so much to try to reach the point of getting to his destination. As he always wanted to play in the professional field. And he know the chances were, what they say, 80 to 90% chance you'll even get into that. The chances are very low. But at one point, I would say maybe 2 years or 3 years before his death, he had a dream or something that came to him, and he had flew in from New England, Boston, and he said, Mom, he picked me up from work, and he had just landed. He said, Mom, I just want to say something. He said, for some reason, some kind of spirit fell over me, but I'm not destined to live long. I don't know why I'm feeling that way. I said, Marquise, you can't. Why would you say that? He said, I don't know. I just feeling that spirit. And for many times we talked about his story because at 12th grade he was arrested with 100 scholarship offers. He was arrested because he was racially attacked. And we had to fight that battle. When the end of the day, when the smoke cleared through the tunnel, he had to be charged with at the end he was found guilty, or more or less convinced to plead guilty, but he wasn't guilty, and we were slapped with a lawsuit. So that's all in the book, but what I'm saying, just to say that. But we had talked about it, and the day before he drowned it, we talked about everything from birth all the way up to that point. And so I had just started writing the title of the book, the chapters in the book. I had them all listed out chronologically in order on 3 days before his accident. So it would just compel for me to just finish it, so that's what I did. My plans was not to write book. I was just going to help him write. But that's what happened.
Wow. It's amazing how things transpire, isn't it?
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's amazing. Just like you said, you didn't decide. It wasn't really your perspective to write the book. You thought he was going to write the book. And then you end up writing this book, and it's amazing just how things unfold where we don't understand or we don't anticipate the end to be, but it happens.
Right.
So please tell me about this title of this book, and because it's a unique title, and I want to talk about that.
Well, his goal was, he said, Mom, I always wanted to play in the Super Bowl, so he played in it. And when I was doing this, writing and doing my little sketching and, little notes, and I said, from the cradle, I didn't want to say cradle to the death because he wasn't deceased. And I said, his ultimate goal was the Super Bowl. But he had already been to the Super Bowl because we was in the middle of Katrina. But believe it or not, so ironically, I had dreamed about him being in a movie. And I said, Marquise, I woke up that morning because the movie was so vivid, and I dreamed of a huge funeral. Now, this is before the accident. This is after he had told me about this stuff of, not living long. And I woke up and said, Marquise, you planning on being an actor? I asked him this question. No, Mom, I thought about it. And I'm telling you, and when the film that I saw in the dream, I didn't see the person, but it was a large film. And then he talking about, I asked him about being an actor. So here's a movie, and that's all that's been going on since my book is, creating a movie because they comparing it to The Blind Side. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, but I am working with an actress on this project. He actually writes the script now. I have a treatment done, but what we are looking for is, producers funding is where we are right now. But I actually came up with the title. I researched it and I thought about it. I came up with several titles, but I liked this one, From the Cradle to the Bowl. A lot of people say, "Oh, Michelle, I want that cradle from the cradle to the grave." No, it's to the bowl, So, but a lot of people, I think it's some book named From the Cradle to something to the grave. It's a different book. I didn't even know that until I saw it. When I look it up, sometimes it's different books From the Cradle to something. But anyway, that's how I came up with the title.
Wow, I truly love it. I truly love it. It's very unique, and it's right to the perspective of what you wanted to reach to the audience who's going to purchase this book. And I really feel that you captured his entire life in that title, Cradle to the Bowl. Everyone, this is Miss Sherry Hill that's with me, and her book that she has created is The Cradle to the Bowl. Listen, it's truly amazing. It's filled with so much wisdom, so much understanding. When you feel lost, when you feel that, hope is gone, and that, these tragedies that are standing before you, it doesn't look like it's any hope to the end. It doesn't look like it's going to result good. I promise you, this book is really going to give you the answers, and it's going to give you some transparency, the tools that you need in order to move forward and succeed and win. Wow. Ms. Sherry, I really appreciate you because you said some things that were so profound just now, just how you began to discuss what things meant. And I believe that different situations and different experiences that you've had mean something to you, and you want to elaborate on it. Because we were talking before our interview today, and we were talking just about, the things that you experienced and just how the effects of Katrina affected you. I can relate. I remember I was actually active duty during Katrina, and it was a very traumatic experience. It was it's really no words to express just the feelings that we felt, in the military of how Katrina affected the nation. And just being involved in Katrina on your, level is totally different than anything that you can really understand if you've never been in it, And you explained to me just how some others, you said that Oprah came down, and a lot of other members, even the president, just came down to really just want to support this turmoil, because there was really no easy way to fix this, because nothing like this has ever happened before. It was like a start from scratch to try to rescue. Can you tell me just really how this experience that there was really no immediate answer to rectify this situation? Tell me really how how you felt in this situation where everyone who had tools to fix it had to start from scratch to get this resolved and to save lives.
Believe it or not, my mother was living at the time, and everybody was packing up, leaving, and we had an older elderly man that lived next door to me, and he was telling us he wasn't leaving. It's going to be a lot of water, he's not leaving. And we begged him to go with us, just drop him off where he wants to go. His wife was calling for him, and I kind of felt bad after this, but make a long story short, I didn't really want to leave because I thought it was really those, the false alarm type situations. My mom said, no, we're going to get up, we're going to leave. But believe it or not, we got up. We didn't take too many things. And a couple of my neighbors stayed. And we got back how we was out when after the storm was over. I talked to my neighbors. They said the water went up to the roof and it rescinded. But when we got back, we had 6 feet of water in my house. I lost everything. I lost so much memorabilia of my son, pictures, few things I had left. I'm thankful to God I had something to put in my book. But these are things that was on the top shelf. I advise anybody, whenever you putting things up in your house, always put it up high as you can, because you never know where the flood or whatever is coming. It's not only coming in Louisiana, as you see now all over the world, and in Oklahoma and all of them experiencing the overflow of water with all this here, what they call this here, the weather, with all these changes with the weather. We don't know what to expect now. But I lost my neighbor, the one that we begged to leave. He refused to leave. We couldn't make him get in the car because he would have probably called the police on us, but he just refused to leave. And when we returned back, I think they found him in the attic. He was dead. I lost a couple of friends in the attic. I had to deal with that. It was difficult. And 2 months after Katrina, I lost my brother. Just about dead 2 months after Katrina. After we stayed in Alabama almost 2 months, we got back to Baton Rouge, and my brother helped us get back, and after we got back about 2 months on. So it was kind of like back trauma. I said, Lord, help me get through this. Got through it. Then 2 years later, so it's been one thing behind others. But, God took care of us. I mean, like I told you before, I was born in this rich cultural family, and we believe in faith all the way, and it helped me get through a lot because we've been in this childhood myself, my family, my brothers, just my father, my grandparents, always been a Christian, Koji type family, So that's the only thing I can say to help me get through this here. And, whatever your faith is, believe in it and trust God, or if you have whoever's your God, because everybody have different religions, But anyway, that's what got me through it, But I tell you, that was a tragedy right there, But, we made it through.
Mm. Wow. That's really, really amazing, just how you overcame all of that, just how that really builds so much strength within you. I feel that every situation we learn something. I feel that every trial we go through, we get a lesson. We get some type of, clarity, right?
Correct.
I just feel like that you had that experience, and you didn't just sit in that experience, just sit in the turmoil, just sit, in the tragedy at that present time. You move forward. Something in you told you, no, life is not over. Like you just said, your neighbors, you couldn't save everybody. At that point, you wanted them to move forward, but at that point, that was their, decision to stay there. At the same time, that was not yours. I just feel like just with everything that's happening, and then with the transition of your son, I feel that you took a different perspective, and I feel like you got a perspective of teaching and showing others to not give up on God. How do you feel about that? Don't you feel like some people really, truly give up on God when they go through something tragic? And I feel like just your life and you writing this book, you're showing others they not give up on God.
And, that's true. But you know what I've learned, and I hear people when they read my story, and just like the young man at my church, he walked up to me, and his mom had got the book from me. And he's in sports like my son, and he said, "Oh, Miss Hill, I want to tell you, I finished that book." And I said, "Now, what you going to do about it?" He said, "I got it. Don't worry, I got it. I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to do it for myself, and I'm going to do it for your son." So, like I say, when I hear that from a young man at this time and age, when it convinces them that, life just don't stop here, you got to keep it going, that makes me feel so awesome. I feel great. If I could just touch one child, one parent at a time, just to encourage them not to give up. That means the world to me. That means more to me than a movie, a book deal, anything, because that's just one person we won't lose. You understand? So, I mean, that's what gives me joy.
Wow. Amen. Amen. Everyone, I have Miss Sherry Hill with me, and she is the author of The Cradle to the Bowl. She is the mother of former NFL player Marquise Hill, and she is sharing just her wisdom and understanding just in how to, keep forward, looking forward. Please understand that it's important to have passion and trust in God. It's important to understand that God is truly with you and that you're not alone. And I feel like today we're really receiving that spirit. I feel like we're receiving that from you today. Wow. Miss Sherry, I have a question for you. What is your goal right now? Because you're in the community. You're in the community right now. You're really having a heart for just everyone to understand that they can begin again. Beginning again, everyone is different. They're dealing with different situations, whether it's losing a loved one, whether it's, losing their health, whether it's losing, a marriage, whether it's losing, family members, children, whatever that loss may be within their lives. I feel like you have a message to give them, because a lot of times people feel like they can't overcome that tragedy, especially if they've been with someone for a long time and they've really never felt that sense of independency by themselves. It's always been joint with someone. Can you please let us know just a nugget, a key as far as understanding that beginning again is something that God truly has for everyone?
Well, I mean, first of all, I can advise them to pray. I mean, everybody's situation is different. Even when I lost my son, I hope I'm not getting off track, but when I lost my son, I mean, I thought the whole thing was unfair. But then when I talked to my coworker, she said, well, Sherry, I want to let you know we understand what you're going through. My brother and them just lost 4 of their kids at one time. So I said, Lord, I'm talking about my one son, but, somebody's either having it worse than myself. So I always look at the whole picture and say, because you think you're facing a difficult, you just have to look at other situations. Some people are missing limbs. Some people they're not even born with arms and fingers, and you're still able to walk around and you have a chance. And, and you just have to look at everything differently. And I always just want to encourage everybody. Anybody I come in contact with, I want to encourage them and encourage them to do better and try to move forward. Don't let, I've always was told my students, don't always sell for medium or the middle, because it's just above the bottom. Always shoot for the stars in the sky, because the sky is the limit. So that's my desire, is any young person, any single parent that's struggling, and even if I get this movie done, my goal is to try to help young single parents or any student and have a scholarship fund for, on behalf of my son. Anything I could do to help the family or a parent or even a student that don't have nobody. If I could be a mother to that student that don't have a mother or feel like he just not loved, that's my goal and my desire. And that's what I've been doing these last 7 or 8 years since I've been out of work. And that's what I want to do, if that's what you was asking me. Am I correct? That's what my desire is.
Yes, truly. You've answered my question, definitely. And I know you've answered the viewer's question, because, listen, this is true. You just gave such a transparent response and clarity of, just what we go through when we're having situations where we don't know how to move forward. Prayer answers everything. And that's where the clarity and the wisdom comes from when we give it to God. Sometimes we forget that God never leaves us. He never forsakes us. Sometimes we can focus so deep in trials and tribulations, and you just gave us those answers. When we take our focus off of that and we turn it to God, we begin to see, and we began to, see the revealing of the answers that we're asking for. I'm a firm believer that God answers prayer.
Amen. Yes.
Yes, firm believer that God answers prayer. And listen,
Amen.
I think God answers.
Sure.
Isn't that amazing? Don't He go over and be on abundance?
Oh, yeah.
He truly does.
I never forget, I was at the doctor's office one day, and an older white lady, I think she looked like she may have been 80-some years old, and she stopped me. I don't know, I just felt the spirit with her, and she said, you know what, miss? She said, I want to tell you something. Your health is your wealth. And if you turn around, your wealth is your health, and your health is your wealth. Either way you look at it. People looking for the wrong thing to be wealth, but your health is more important. One of the most important things, and that stuck with me for the rest of my, ever since she told me that. And I never looked at it that way. But, people just look for the wrong thing. And because she would feel like her health was failing her, and she just didn't realize it. But she just put a word of wisdom on my mind right there. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was truly a word of wisdom for me. I mean, you've just explained just so many things. Listen, being an entrepreneur is such a passion, and definitely my health is my wealth. And my wealth is my health. That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Twofold, right? That's just so amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I truly love that. Yeah, I feel like that you're living that right now. You are a true example living that right now. Listen, you wrote a book, right? You wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
It started there. You're sharing it with the world. And then someone connected with you to film a play, to film a movie. Yeah, think about that. That's going to bring reach all over the world. I mean, that's where it started. But it started with the book. It started with the idea before you wrote the book, then the book, and now we have the movie. So, I mean, and it's not over. It's like I feel like God is just really starting such a momentum of success and prosperity for you, right? You said,
Amen.
You transitioned from your work, but now you are fully abundant, and I believe God is continuing to evolve more success in your life.
When Pastor, I'm thinking Pastor Sapp, Marvin Sapp, when he wrote that song, I wouldn't have never made it. I thought he just wrote it for me, But I tell anybody, I'm waiting on the doors to open. I'm shouting in the hallway. So I'm just going to trust God,
I love that. Isn't that true? Yeah. It's like, listen, you think that, you think that things are going good, but then when it goes bad, you're like, well, I never would have made it without you, Lord God. And that is so true, how God begins to reveal to us, like, God, you know what? I tell people this all the time. I said, you know what?
Amen.
It's some things in my life that I have no idea how they came to play. I have no idea how the blessings surface. My producer can tell you that right now too. I say, I don't know how it came about, but I just know that God was working with me on this small seed, and I do know a seed needed in me, and it evolves into my fruit, and evolves into a tree or whatever I planted it to produce. But it started out with a seed, and I just began to believe in this seed, began to water it from what I saw, began to, create what I had, and then it just blossomed into this life. And it's like, whoa, you look back and you say, wow, God, you were carrying me the whole time. Don't you feel that? You were carrying me the whole time. I wasn't walking.
That's the truth. That's right. Amen.
It's so good. It's so good to connect with you and talk to you this evening, because you're really showing others just the keys to receive the healing that they've been asking for so many years. Because, this month is actually focusing on mental health. And I am a mental illness advocate, and it's very important for us to understand and get the keys to receive healing and understand that God does not want us to stay in that state. Those weapons are formed, but they don't prosper.
They won't prosper, yeah. And you know what? The devil tried to attack me on Mother's Day. And I was in church, and we was in the choir stand. And it looked like he wanted to speak to me and say, you can't call your mom, and you can't be called mom. And it looked like it just hit me. And I never had that feeling before, but I got through it. I said, devil, get behind me. I'm running this show,
Yes.
Oh, God is good. And,
all the time. All the time.
All the time. He's good. Yes, he is.
And watching you shows that God is good. You know what's so funny? Satan always comes to you and tell you just how things are going bad and how, no, I don't think it's going good. And look what happened. Mm-hmm. This is bad. But listen, when I tell you God always shows us results, and you have to show Satan love, it is written. You always show him the facts. And then that's when he flees. He's like, oh, man, you know way too much about your life. You know way too much about your goodness. I got to go find somebody else that don't know. Because that's really what he does. He has to go find somebody else that does not understand, how good God is for them. And you're relieving folks, everybody around here, myself right now, you're relieving me just in areas where I felt lost, where, I know I can begin again. And you're just a living testimony of that. And you're showing the listening audience right now just how they can continue and begin again. I truly appreciate you. You guys, I have Miss Sherry Hill, and she is the author of The Cradle to the Bowl. You need to connect with this amazing woman of God who is the mother of former NFL player Marquise Hill. And her book is truly a transformational gift to the world. Again, it is The Cradle to the Bowl. I truly, truly appreciate you, Ms. Hill. Can you please let us know what I know you have a movie, but what upcoming projects do you have coming up? Do you have a place where you're connecting, where people can come and support you in your projects?
Well, I'm on Facebook. I'm on with the Twitter. I'm old school. With Twitter, Instagram, all that's on there. You just Google, or you could just Google the mother Marquise Hill. Everything will come up. I just looked yesterday for the jersey of my son, and they have a veteran's jersey on there with his name and number in just memory of my son and the veteran. Because that was the last thing my son signed or autograph was to a veteran just before his death. And so I was very overwhelmed with that, and it's online now. But Instagram, Twitter, Amazon, I'm working on a children's book right now. By next month, it's complete. And that's my new project. And I have about 2 more books out of 2. That these are books that I've been sitting on. And, I don't want to keep sitting on them. I want to get off of them. So I'm working on that now. Well, we're taking baby steps with the project, which they could take a while. And hopefully we'll be, getting somewhere soon. But that's my next project that I'm trying to work on with my children's book. I'm like 80%. Illustration is really a big project, and I told the publishing people, I said, look, I got this in my brain, the whole picture, so they told me, we got it. I said, we got it, I'm going to leave it in y'all court. And I told them, I was trying to tell them how to do it, and if they need some help. They said, Ms. Hill, we've been doing this for 11 years. Did 10,000 books. We can handle it. I said, well, look, my name is Minnie, and I'm not in it. I said, y'all take it over. So they said, thank you, Miss Minnie. So that's where I am right now. But other than that, everything is going with the flow. Just trusting God and moving forward.
Amen. Amen. Listen, we're totally supporting you. We thank God for you. Definitely your project. Please keep us posted. Definitely we want to make sure that we're abreast so we can connect and make sure the listening audience knows about your new creations and definitely the movie, because I'm looking forward to going to see it, supporting you and everything that you have. Just so grateful. Just A lot of my fam, they're veterans, and they're listening to you right now, and they're just so honored just of everything that your son was and what he did and what he is within your life. I mean, I believe that his spirit lives on. He is looking at you and at everyone, and just so blessed and honored just to be honored today, and definitely feeling the love from his mom. And I'm just grateful for you. I truly, truly am honored for you to interview with me today. Definitely talking about how everything works together. We all needed your wisdom in this topic and subject, and definitely all the questions, I believe, are answered with everyone, and they're going to connect with you. They're going to connect with you, inbox you, and ask more questions.
I gave you my email address. It's hill.sherry.
Oh, yes, please get it to us.
hill.sherry, lowercase HILL, period, Sherry, SHERRY 9469 at Gmail. Or if they text me or call me, they have all these robocalls coming on your phone, but if they text me, my number is 504-3104. They text me and say, look, I want to get a book. I mail them out every day, and I sign them as well. But they on Amazon, and if you Google it, it'll tell you where to buy it. But Amazon, and I think it's on a flip. You know how you have an ebook flip, whatever that is, flip pages where you can flip through it? It's on there, too. I can't think of the name of it. I remember it. It's that senior citizen stuff. Sorry. But anyway. Anyway, you could just, like I said, hit me up, Instagram, all that other stuff, Facebook. I'm on Facebook as well, my book information and all those. And if they contact you all, y'all know how to get in contact with me, so we could go from there. I am a self-publisher. I have signed up to be in the Essence, with my book. So I'm waiting to hear from them. So, but I'm here, trying to hang in here. That's what I do. I'm just going to keep it going and never give up.
Amen. Amen. Well, we're supporting you, and definitely everyone is going to connect with us to purchase your book, and definitely support all the projects that you have, because you are amazing. We definitely appreciate all the work and everything that God is doing within your life. You're totally awesome. I appreciate you. I'm definitely looking forward to you coming back again. Definitely, if you have any other projects or anything else that's new and coming forward, please come back and share it with us. I'm really, truly honored to have you.
And I thank you, and I appreciate you all having me. It's an awesome experience. Jerry has really been so supportive, and I appreciate him. I know he's a real bad man. So I really appreciate it. I thank y'all so much, and I'm elated to be on the show.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate having you. And now we're going to transition to our last segment of the show, and this is called LEKEISHA's Love Letter of Healing, Encouragement, and Empowerment. And we're going to focus on scriptures, Psalm chapter 69, and it's verses 13 through 15. Now, honestly, the whole chapter of Psalm 69 is very vital and very important, but we're going to just focus on these three scriptures right now, because it's such enlightenment of what happened to David. But I pray to you, Lord, in the time of your favor, in your great love, O God, answer me with your sure salvation. Rescue me from the mirror. Do not let me sink. Deliver me from those who hate me, from the deep waters. Do not let the flood waters engulf me, or depths swallow me up, or the pit close its mouth over me. And I tell you, it's amazing just this time that David was experiencing, because he really was opening up to God and pleading to him, because he was in a desperate, we believe a depressed state of mind, because he was really dealing with so much grief. We're talking about him losing his best friend, Jonathan. He lost his baby with Bathsheba. He lost his older son, Absalom. He was king, but at the same time, he was persecuted. You know, he was king. He was the chosen one to save his people. And people are pretty much mocking him because he was always called a man after God's own heart. I mean, this man was dealing with so much left and right turmoil that he could have just stayed and focused on and just literally just gave up. A lot of us, you know, we've dealt with this in certain aspects of our life where life was just so overwhelming, where we were in a depressed state. We were experiencing anxiety, PTSD. We were experiencing some type of distress mentally where it really did not alleviate any type of rescue, any type of refuge of healing. And we didn't feel like God was with us. But I want to encourage you today to understand that in all of our aspects of trial and tribulation, that God is always with us and God never left us. This is what I want you to focus on real quick. Understand that with everything that David was going through, he was in that state, and I loved how transparent and honest he was about those states, but he didn't stay there. Even when he didn't have physical answers to how he was going to get out, he had past results. I am a firm believer of God has a track record. He has a track record of success. He has a track record of always being there for us. And that's one thing that David always had in his arsenal, in his arsenal of success stories, I would say, when it comes to God. And he sung about it. He was passionate. He sung about it. He wrote about it. He began to exalt. He danced about it. He began to express just how good God was. A lot of times when he didn't have the answers to how it was going to come to play, that's why God said, this man was after my own heart, because he displayed that even without having the answers all the time. He knew that he loved him. He knew that he was always going to be by his side. That's how God knew. And I want you to be encouraged that if you always just look forward to God and understand that God has a plan, he always has the answers that you need when it comes to everything about your life, that you don't have to stay in that depressed state. You don't have to stay in that state of mind of anxiety or whatever you're going through. Know that God has it under control. And I want you to understand that God is always with you. I'm with you. I love you so much. I want you to be encouraged today. I want you to have a blessed and continue to have a blessed Memorial Day. This is a blessed, blessed day to reflect on so much greatness, what God is doing. And I want you to be encouraged and encourage others as well, too. And be honest and be transparent, but at the same time, understand that God is always with you and God always loves you. I love you. I want you to be encouraged and understand that, remember, in all you do, lead with confidence, understanding, and love always. I am ending our show tonight, and I want you to please stay tuned for the last podcast tonight, which is Jerry Royce, Late Night with Jerry Royce Live, and my beautiful sister, Shay Sams, and their special guest that they're going to have is truly going to be amazing. I want you to be encouraged and stay enlightened tonight. I want you to have a blessed evening. Good night.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, family. Thank you for tuning in to the LEKEISHA Mosley Show. That's right, y'all. Don't forget Pep Talk. Catch that on Spotify. That's right, LEKEISHA Mosley coming to Spotify, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. All right, y'all. We're so excited, y'all, for this next show. We got Sean Scales coming here. His vice promoter is Dallas Frazier. You know him as Tony D. So hang around here at 10 o'clock. Shay Sandwich will be conducting the interview. It's going to be simply awesome and amazing, like the LEKEISHA Mosley. What's up, LEKEISHA? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you this evening?
Awesome. Great show with my good friend, Sherry Hill. Man, Sherry Hill go way back, about at least 5 years. We've been knowing Sherry.
Wow.
We had on the red carpet. I got to pull that tape. Yeah, we met her at the Newsom Award. But actually met her before that when she was promoting her book, From the Cradle to the Grave with Marquise Hill. Yeah. Yeah, she's doing her thing. Hope to have her here in Baltimore soon. Try to get her here on the set, right here in the beautiful Owings Mills, Charm City. So we're going to have to reach out to her and see when next time she's going to be in town. Because she just travel a lot. Because I think she still do a lot of stuff with the NFL moms, if I'm not mistaken. I think they still do some stuff up in the Boston area. I think they fly them all there and they get together. Awesome organization. All right. So you excited, LEKEISHA, about this?
I am.
Yeah. We had a great weekend. Great weekend.
Yes, we did. Oh, yes, we did.
Chestertown.
My God, Chestertown, Maryland.
Yeah. WKHS 90.5, the Sunday Jazz Experience with DJ Jazzman and DJ Lady Praise. They gave us some shout out yesterday on the show. I think that show airs like 6 to 8, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 6 to 8. I was listening to it for a little while I was at the cookout getting my burger, my turkey burger on. So how was your holiday so far?
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Truly had a transformational time this weekend, meeting so many new people, supporting us and supporting them. Definitely great collaboration.
Yes.
Have evolved this past weekend.
Yeah, we're excited about that. I mean, the whole town came out and supported us. Man, it was unbelievable support. I was just telling Paula G, I said they had a theater that housed like 250 people. And I think out of the 4 plays, I think the other 3 plays maybe like, I don't even think they were quarter full. But this one was so supported. Yeah, they supported Charm City, Positive Power. The house was packed. All the seats were filled. 250 people in the house. That's right. The owner judge story was being told. We shot a documentary. You guys probably saw a little bit of the footage out there. We're gonna launch some more. So you guys, we're gonna be working on that documentary real soon, featuring LEKEISHA Mosley. So we're excited about that. Taking LEKEISHA to another level, doing movies. Congratulations, LEKEISHA. God is good. Man.
All the time.
You're a movie star
really
now.
Humbled and honored.
Yeah, you're a movie star. I feel it. There was one lady that was so funny. Some people just naturally funny. And look, and she almost left too. Remember?
Yes, I do. I'm so glad she stayed because she was such a traumatic. Just an amazing story.
Yeah.
Just how she left it. She had amazing impact on the entire play.
Yeah, I know. It was fun. Yeah, because he was about to roll. Because, they never gave us a head count on how many people we were going to interview for the movie. Because I was thinking the movie's, it's going to be 30 minutes. So, of course, we're going to have it, this, probably different versions of it most likely. And, I got to put on my thinking caps. But, we want to make it move fast. But at the same time, the people, when you're in the movie, you want to see yourself. You don't care how long you took. But when people are looking at it from around the world, especially social media, that thing got to move fast, So you got to pull the meat out and put the potatoes on the side of the plate. So we'll see. It's probably be 2 versions of it, one for social media and one for them. So we're excited. It was great to hang out with DJ Jazzman, my brother. We used to do a lot of media together back in the day, so we know that territory well, And I was so glad that they embrace you and Positive Power because we never really worked that part of the county before. Kent County, we was in Talbot County, and that's like 40 minutes away. But it's gonna be a domino effect. Watch, before you know it, we'll be able to do some real marvelous things with a lot of the community leaders that's down there, because you need media, you got to have media. You got to, So anyway, we appreciate your time, LEKEISHA Mosley, and we talk to you soon, right-o?
Absolutely. It's truly an honor, always. Definitely. Thank you so much for everything that you do, Batman. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, y'all stay tuned for 10 o'clock because, me and LEKEISHA, we can get in here and talk all night, but we got to get ready for Shay Sam's. I gotta save a little energy for Shay Shay. All right, Baby K. All right, everybody. Stay tuned. Let's hear some good music. All right. Sons of Faith. Going to Christ.
Can we take it a more time? I said, can we take it a more time? That's it, mama.